And now, BillyCBoxing.com presents Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down with Billy C. Here he is, Billy C.
We're coming at you from the Billy C studio in Lake George, New York. I'm Bill Calogero, and it's time for BillyCBoxing.com's Boxing's Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down for today. And today happens to be Tuesday, June 12th in the year 2012. You know, I really only have one thumbs up and one thumbs down, but they're involved one. First of all, thumbs up. Once again, I got to give a thumbs up to Tommy the Hitman Hearns. He was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame this past Sunday, officially. The Hitman was one of my all-time favorite fighters, and his style, I think, should be considered a gauge for boxing success. This was a guy who could and would box and display everything we want to see when we speak of the sweet science. And he could also... and he could and would also, I should say, bang with the best of them. As a matter of fact, most people remember his power before they think of his finesse. This was a guy that had a great jab. He could box better than most at the time, and he certainly could stand toe-to-toe and bang. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, the marvelous Marvin Hagler. Yeah, man, sometimes I feel like Porky Pig in more ways than one. Marvelous Marvin Hagler versus Tommy the Hitman Hearns was actually one of my all-time favorite fights. It was the best 3 rounds of boxing I ever got to witness in my lifetime live, and I loved every minute of it. To this day, I still think that it's one of the best fights ever. And one of the best things about that fight is that Tommy Hearns broke his hand right on the old noggin of the Marvelous One and never complained about it until years later. As a matter of fact, I personally never even knew that he broke his hand up until a couple of years ago when it came out. When I believe Manny Stewart mentioned it. And Tommy Hearns never complained about it and gave Marvelous Marvin Hagler all the credit that he deserved. It was 3 rounds of action. I loved it. If you've never seen it, man, what the hell are you waiting for? And even if you have seen it, just go watch it again today. You know, it's unfortunate that guys like Tommy the Hitman Hearns only come around once in every generation. But I can only fantasize of how boxing would be right now if fighters were all like Tommy the Hitman Hearns, and if that was the norm and not the exception. If fighters like Tommy Hearns were the norm and not the exception, boxing would still be at its peak. I give a thumbs up to Tommy the Hitman Hearns, one of my all-time favorite fighters, and now a member of the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Thumbs down goes to Bob Arum and Top Rank for carrying the fallout from the Pacquiao-Bradley fight to the Nevada Attorney General. I asked Bob Arum this. Why, Bob? Is this just to paint the picture that you're trying to do everything that you can? Is it to paint the picture that you're just trying to do something? Do you really think that the government will help you? There were 3 judges. All 3 judges scored this fight 115-113, although one had it for Pacquiao and the other 2 had it for Timothy Bradley. You know, it's crazy and it's absurd to think for a minute that this fight would be considered a no contest, overturned, or whatever. All I'm going to say is this. All of the discussion about a conspiracy and the judges getting back at Manny Pacquiao, all of that talk that you hear, I'm going to just say this, and I said it earlier on the show. Look at it this way. If we saw 2 judges that scored the fight, let's say 115-113, and the 3rd judge had it as the way most of us saw it, 117-111 or 118-110 or what have you, then I could see that you actually have a stance, an argument here. But the fact is that the 3rd judge who scored it for Pacquiao had it at the same score. So what that means is boxing is subjective. In their opinion, it was a close fight. In their opinion, 2 of the 3 judges scored it for Timothy Bradley. I disagree with the score, but I will tell you this. If this is a conspiracy, if it was a setup, if it was a fix, if you will, then whoever came up with this brainstorm thought of every possible scenario, and that, my friends, is why the scores were the way they are, because there is no way that anyone can overturn the judges when they're all scored like that. If it was 3 judges with the same score, maybe you got a chance. 2 judges with a crazy score, 1 with a realistic score, maybe you got a chance. But 3 judges with the same score, 2 for one fighter, 1 for another, only shows that boxing is subjective. I say that this is all a facade. It's a game. It's a smokescreen. And all Bob Arum and Top Rank are doing is building up the rematch. And after all, business is business. And they're going to try and get as much money on the rematch as they can. And they will, because we all want to see it again. Hey, that concludes our thumbs up, thumbs down. Remember, we're not doing one tomorrow or Thursday or Friday. We'll see you back on Monday. Ciao, baby.